10. Pan American World Airways Flight 103 Pan AM 103. Pan AM Flight 103 was a commercial flight that crashed on December 21, 1988. It was a Boeing 747-121 aircraft operated by Pan American World Airways Pan AM. The flight was en route from London Heathrow Airport to New York's John F. Kennedy International Airport, with stopovers in Frankfurt and Detroit. Tragically, the aircraft experienced a terrorist bombing over Lockerbie, Scotland. All 259 people on board lost their lives, and 11 people on the ground were also killed, bringing the total death toll to 270. There were no survivors from the plane. The bombing was caused by a terrorist act orchestrated by placing an explosive device in a suitcase on board. The attack remains one of the deadliest acts of terrorism in aviation history. 9. American Airlines Flight 191. American Airlines Flight 191 was a tragic aviation accident that occurred on May 25, 1979. The flight was a regularly scheduled domestic route from Chicago O'Hare International Airport to Los Angeles International Airport. It used a McDonnell Douglas DC-10 aircraft. During takeoff, the left engine and pylon detached from the aircraft due to a maintenance error, resulting in the loss of control. The plane crashed into a field near the airport, killing all 271 people on board and 2 people on the ground. There were no survivors from the crash. The cause of the crash was attributed to improper maintenance procedures, leading to the engine and pylon separation. This accident prompted significant safety improvements in aircraft maintenance and led to changes in FAA regulations. 8. Iran Air Flight 655. Iran Air Flight 655 was a tragic incident that occurred on July 3, 1988. The flight was operated by Iran Air, a civilian airline, and the aircraft involved was an Airbus A300. The flight was en route from Bandar Abbas International Airport in Iran to Dubai, United Arab Emirates. However, the flight never reached its destination. Regrettably, the aircraft was mistakenly shot down by the USS Vincennes, a U.S. Navy-guided missile cruiser, while flying over the Persian Gulf. This tragic mistake resulted in the loss of all 290 passengers and crew members on board, with no survivors. The incident caused immense grief and led to significant international controversy, emphasizing the importance of accurate identification and communication to prevent such disasters in the future. 7. Malaysia Airlines Flight 17 MH17. Malaysia Airlines Flight 17 MH17 was a tragic incident that occurred on July 17, 2014. The flight, operated by Malaysia Airlines, was a Boeing 777-200ER aircraft, en route from Amsterdam, Netherlands, to Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. However, the flight's journey was abruptly cut short when it was shot down by a missile over eastern Ukraine. In a region of intense conflict between Ukrainian armed forces and pro-Russian separatists, all 298 people on board lost their lives in the tragedy, marking a devastating loss of lives from various countries. The incident had a profound impact on international relations, as investigations suggested that the plane was brought down by a Buck missile system launched from a territory controlled by separatist forces. The lack of survivors and the scale of the tragedy underscored the deep sadness and shock that resonated globally. 6. Saudi Arabian Airlines Flight 163 Saudi 163. Saudi Arabian Airlines Flight 163, operated by Saudia, was a tragic incident that occurred on August 19, 1980. The flight was operated using a Lockheed L-1011 TriStar aircraft. The setting was King Khalid International Airport in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Tragically, the flight ended in a devastating fire that resulted in the loss of 301 lives. The aircraft caught fire shortly after takeoff due to an improperly sealed rear bolt cargo door, leading to an emergency landing attempt. Despite the crew's efforts to bring the aircraft back to the airport, the intense fire and smoke engulfed the plane before they could land safely. There were no survivors among the 301 people on board, and the accident remains one of the deadliest aviation incidents involving a single aircraft in history. Investigations then concluded that the aircraft landed safely, but the evacuation process was severely delayed. This led to concerns about the airline's safety and international improvements of safety protocols. 5. Air India Flight 182. Air India Flight 182 was a tragic incident that occurred on June 23, 1985. The flight, operated by Air India, was a Boeing 747-237B en route from Toronto, Canada, to Bombay, now Mumbai, India, with a stopover in London, UK. Tragically, the flight was targeted by a terrorist bomb planted by Sikh extremists during the Punjab insurgency, resulting in a catastrophic mid-air explosion off the coast of Ireland. All 329 people on board lost their lives in the disaster, making it one of the deadliest aviation incidents in history at that time. The tragedy also had far-reaching implications, leading to increased scrutiny of airline security procedures and international efforts to combat terrorism. The attack left an indelible mark on aviation history, reminding the world of the importance of safety and security measures to safeguard the lives of passengers and crew. 4. Turkish Airlines Flight 981. Turkish Airlines Flight 981, a tragic event in aviation history, took place on March 3, 1974. Operated by Turkish Airlines, the flight utilized a McDonnell Douglas DC-10 aircraft, a wide-body trijet known for its innovative design. The flight was en route from Istanbul, Turkey to London, United Kingdom. Tragically, shortly after takeoff, the cargo door of the DC-10 unexpectedly detached, resulting in a rapid decompression that severely damaged the aircraft structure. The incident led to the crash of Flight 981 in the Ermenonville Forest, France. The catastrophe claimed the lives of all 346 individuals on board, causing the deadliest single aircraft crash in aviation history up to that point. There were no survivors, and the crash prompted a thorough investigation that ultimately led to significant safety improvements in aircraft design and maintenance procedures, emphasizing the importance of meticulous attention to detail and stringent safety measures in the aviation industry. 3. Charki-Dadri Mid-Air Collision Saudia Flight 762 and Kazakhstan Airlines Flight 1907. On November 12, 1996, a tragic mid-air collision occurred near Charki-Dadri, Haryana, India, forever etching the Charki-Dadri mid-air collision into aviation history. The catastrophe involved the aircraft, Saudia Flight 763, a Boeing 747 en route from Delhi, India, to Dhahran, Saudi Arabia, and Kazakhstan Airlines Flight 1907, an Ilyushin IL-76TD bound for Delhi from Shymkent, Kazakhstan. In an unfortunate series of events, both aircraft found themselves in the same flight level, due to a communication misunderstanding between the Kazakhstani crew and Indian Air Traffic Control. The collision led to the immediate breakup of the Il-76 in the tail section of the Boeing 747. All 349 people aboard the two planes lost their lives in the tragic accident, making it the deadliest mid-air collisions in history. The catastrophe prompted a thorough re-evaluation of air traffic control procedures and international communication protocols, emphasizing the need for enhanced safety measures in the global aviation industry. 2. Japan Airlines Flight 123 JAL-1-3. Japan Airlines Flight 123, a tragic event etched into aviation history, was a scheduled domestic flight operated by Japan Airlines. On August 12, 1985, the Boeing 747 SR-46 aircraft departed from Tokyo's Haneda Airport bound for Osaka International Airport. Tragically, the flight encountered a catastrophic failure in its vertical stabilizer just 12 minutes after takeoff. This resulted in the loss of control and a harrowing descent. The crash occurred in a mountainous area near Mount Asutaka. Out of the 524 passengers and crew on board, a devastating 520 lives were lost, making it the deadliest single aircraft disasters in history. Only 4 passengers miraculously survived this tragic incident. The aftermath of Flight 123 led to significant changes in aviation safety procedures and engineering practices, serving as a somber reminder of the importance of diligence and caution in ensuring the safety of air travel. 1. Tenerife Airport Disaster. KLM Royal Dutch Airways Flight 4805 KLM 4805 and Pan American World Airways Flight 1736 Pan AM 1736. The Tenerife Airport disaster, which occurred on March 27, 1977, remains one of the deadliest aviation accidents in history. The disaster unfolded at Los Rodeos Airport, now Tenerife North Airport in the Canary Islands, Spain. To Boeing 747 jumbo jets, one operated by KLM Boeing 747-206B, and the other by Pan Am Boeing 747-121, were involved in a catastrophic collision on the foggy runway, due to a series of miscommunications, including misunderstandings between the air traffic control tower and the flight crews. The KLM flight attempted to take off while the Pan Am aircraft was still taxiing on the runway. Tragically, the KLM plane's attempt to lift off resulted in a collision with the Pan Am aircraft. causing a massive explosion and fire that claimed the lives of 583 people. Only 61 survivors, mostly from the Pan Am plane, managed to escape the inferno. The disaster prompted significant changes in aviation safety protocols and procedures, contributing to the industry's ongoing commitment to preventing similar accidents in the future. Thank you for watching my video. I'm on top of 10 and I would greatly appreciate it if you liked the video and subscribe to my channel.